Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Of course, you know, it is a Furahi Day night. Mkosawa, boy, oh boy, have I missed you, my lovely audience. I hope you had a great week. And you know what? I'm here to make sure we'll end it with a high. Mko poa, mko home. Let me tell you, the show is going to be so nice as always. Thank you so much, of course, for staying with us right here at TV47. And of course, this is our weekend edition. My name is Betty Kialo, and itakuwa show moto sana, I promise. So, of course, you know, apart from the top stories tonight from across the country, tuko na yani ile spicy things, you know, spicy categories and everything. Of course, we have Willis Ochieng, as you can see, anajitayarisha. Willis, how are you doing tonight? Are you ready? Okay, I can see he's actually taking some notes here. Of course, we're going to be asking him so many questions. Do we say mosquito? Ama tunasema mosquito, which is which, and is going to, of course, be joining us live from Kisii County. Willis Ochieng, mnampenda sana. And apart from him, tuko na mse, huyu anasumbua wazazi town. Na kuambia huyu mtu, let me tell you, Nikki Big Fish is in the building. Ebu simama. Karibu sana, mluya wetu.
Sasa.
Karibu, siogope. How are you doing tonight?
Wewe ni wakutoka Shamahoho.
Sasa mimi kwetu kwanza yuko
Kuisero.
Na wewe ni mluya wa wapi?
Kutoka Vihiga, Rwanda. Wanasema ni watu abandu wa msala.
Abandu hebu wasalimie saizi tusikie.
Lakini sijui kuongea lugha ya nyumbani.
Sijui kuongea lugha ya nyumbani.
Watu wa Nairobi.
Amebant.
Abandu wa Vihiga Mulembe.
Mulembe mno.
Mulembe mno. Inasemekana abandu wa msala. Unajua inamaanisha nini? Watu wa mambo mengine ile. Kuna mama fulani, kuna video imekuwa kitrend leo, mama akisema anauza kitu fulani, so itakuwa ndio hiyo. Wewe, tusianze. Haya, unajua nini? Najua kwa station kama nataka kutangaza news. This is your opportunity. Oh, by the way.
Tuambie sasa kitu, taarifa ya habari inasema nini? Alafu tuanze show chap. Niyo kamera.
Basi mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu katika habari zetu za leo, na mimi mtangazaji wenu Nikki Big Fish, niko na Betty, na kuna habari ambayo imeweza kuchipuka leo, inasema ya kwamba timu kubwa ambayo ni timu kubwa duniani, ambayo ni timu ambayo kila mtu anapenda, na timu ambayo ikicheza kila mtu anafurahia, utakuwa unajiuliza ni timu gani? Ni timu ambayo inaitwa Arsenal.
Hapana, ni timu ambayo inaitwa TV47, and of course our weekend edition begins now. Let's begin with the highlights. It's going to be a great show.
Yes.
United opposition leaders storm police headquarters, pressing IG Douglas Kanja for action on multiple grievances affecting the public. 3 Kenya Defence Forces recruits lose their lives after falling ill during a routine endurance exercise, sending shockwaves through the military community. A Nakuru family battles the devastating effects of muscular dystrophy, with over 5 members rendered immobile and fighting daily challenges.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's always such a joy having you joining us, of course, here on the show. We begin with our top stories tonight, and our sign language anchor tonight is Valin Owino. Let's begin with our top stories. And the United Opposition Alliance has threatened to launch mass street protests if action is not taken within 2 weeks against goons and alleged rogue police officers accused of attacking former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua at ACK with Timber Church in Othaya last Sunday. Now, the opposition leaders who held a lengthy meeting with the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, have also written to the National Security Council, chaired by President William Ruto, as well as the international community, warning of a possible, of course, return to widespread protests if no action is taken. Apollo Kamau has these details. Take a look.
The United Opposition Alliance, with the exception of Fred Matiang'i, marched through Nairobi's Central Business District in a show of protest against rogue police officers and goons attacking their meetings, particularly targeting former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. The group proceeded to a face-to-face meeting with Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja at Jogoo House, where they issued a 2-week ultimatum for their grievances to be addressed, warning that demonstrations would follow if no action is taken.
If this situation continues after 16th, hatutakuwa na lingine la kufanya ni kuitisha maandamano katika Jamhuri ya Kenya until Kipchumba Murkomen is removed from office, IG Kaja is removed from office, and the 2 DIGs are removed from office, and the National Police Service can be put back into order.
We shall call for mass action. The church, Kenyans, kila mahali. Because this is clear. If we don't stop this thing now, there will not even be any election.
The Waitima ACK church attack tops a list of more than 20 incidents which the opposition describes as an assassination attempt on Gachagua by a Nairobi-based special unit called the Sierra Squad. In a letter to the National Security Council and the international community, the opposition demands the squad be disbanded and names 15 other individuals they say are most culpable, led by their leader, Major Nicholas Mochovi.
We want the National Police Service to get out of goonism, to get out of dirty political work, to go back to their mandate, utumishi kwa wote.
Ahead of a return to Kanja's office on the 16th of this month, the opposition is demanding an independent and impartial investigation into all the incidents, the suspension and prosecution of all officers and civilians implicated, urgent measures to guarantee the safety of Gachagua, his family and supporters, and the restoration of public confidence in the country's security system. A 2-week ultimatum stands for police to act on suspects of ACK Waitima church attack, or the opposition returns to street protests. Apul Kamau, TV47 in Nairobi.
Now, the Supreme Court has dismissed a consolidated petition pitting former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua against the National Assembly, paving the way for a substantive appeal on the legality of the High Court bench that heard his impeachment case. Paul Kirobi tells us more.
In its ruling, the Supreme Court dismissed an application by Rigathi Gachagua, citing that upon consideration of the consolidated applications, the court lacked jurisdiction to stay proceedings before the High Court. The judges held that the Supreme Court can only stay proceedings before the Court of Appeal, not the High Court. The decision now clears the way for the substantive appeal to be heard and determined on its merits.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
The court also dismissed a separate application by the National Assembly, which had sought to strike out Gachagua's cross-appeal.
Excellency, you have been advised by your lawyers.
In a ruling delivered by a 5-judge bench led by Chief Justice Martha Koome, the court rejected Gachagua's application, seeking to halt ongoing High Court proceedings, strike out the National Assembly's appeal, and expunge documents from the record of appeal. A key issue before the court was the decision by the Deputy Chief Justice to empanel a High Court bench in the absence of the Chief Justice. Gachagua had challenged the legality of that empanelment and later sought the recusal of the judges, citing alleged bias. The High Court dismissed both challenges, a decision that was partially overturned by the Court of Appeal. The Appellate Court ruled that the power to empanel judges under Article 165(4) of the Constitution is an exclusive function of the Chief Justice, exercisable by the Deputy Chief Justice only in exceptional and clearly demonstrated circumstances. The impeachment motion against Gachagua was introduced in the National Assembly by Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Mwengi Mutuse and passed with the support of 281 lawmakers, surpassing the constitutional threshold. The Senate later upheld the impeachment, paving the way for the nomination and eventual swearing in of Professor Kithure Kindiki as Deputy President. Paul Kirobi, TV47.
Now, as public anger continues to grow over the multi-billion shilling Shah scandal exposed by the Health Ministry, President William Ruto has remained silent on the matter, instead praising the new health scheme as a game changer in achieving universal health coverage. Elizabeth Atieno reports.
Friday, President William Ruto attended the 5th graduation ceremony of Uzima University in Kisumu County. The president used the platform to talk about the implementation of the universal health coverage, saying the Social Health Authority has streamlined access to health care.
Today, universal health coverage is a lived reality. with more than 29 million Kenyans registered under the Social Health Authority.
However, the president did not comment on the 11.6 billion Kenya shillings SHA scandal amidst the ongoing public debate on the matter. The Ministry of Health is yet to reveal the list of the hospitals linked to the fraudulent claims. The 11.6 billion Kenya shillings in fraudulent claims were detected between October 2024 and April 2025. Upon reviewing the SHA Resources portal, it was discovered that facility payment records for the affected months had been removed from the system. The first system update occurred on the 28th of April 2025, with the final update recorded on 19th August 2025. Private hospitals are leading in the fraud at 6.8 billion Kenya shillings, followed closely by county-owned public facilities at 2.8 billion, as well as level 6 facilities like Kenyatta National Hospital, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, Kenyatta University Referral Hospital, and Mathare Hospital at 500 million Kenya shillings. 1.1 billion Kenya shillings claims submitted by faith-based facilities were equally rejected. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, the Kenya Defence Forces has confirmed the death of 3 recruits during a training exercise at the Defence Forces Recruits Training School in Eldoret. Now, the incident, which occurred on January 29th, has prompted a thorough investigation to establish the circumstances surrounding the tragedy. Suzanne Locho reports.
The Kenya Defence Forces has issued a report confirming that 3 recruits lost their lives after suddenly falling ill during an endurance training exercise as part of the recruit program. According to the report, immediate medical attention was provided on site before the recruits were rushed to Eldoret Referral Hospital. Unfortunately, doctors' efforts to save them were unsuccessful. The families of the deceased have been formally notified and support continues to be provided to those affected. The KDF says a full investigation is ongoing following established military procedures to determine the circumstances of the incident and strengthen safety measures for future trainees. In the wake of this announcement, the Kenya Defence Forces reaffirmed its commitment to protecting the lives of all its personnel, honoring those who have passed and safeguarding those who continue to serve the nation. Susan Locho for TV47.
All right, now moving on to another yet top story. And Mandera Governor Aden Khalif, the Mandera Governor Aden Khalif has been put on the spot by the Senate over the use of 449 million shillings from the county's emergency fund. We'll have that story shortly. But for now, though, a family in Nakuru County is enduring a painful and long-standing struggle after all 5 of their children were diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, a rare muscle wasting disease. For more than 2 decades, the parents have cared for the children who are unable to walk or live independently as poverty and stigma compound their challenges. Take a look.
As you step into this homestead in Kagoto village, Bahati constituency, the scene is heart-wrenching. Each day, Francis Kiare and Tabitha Wambui cling to the hope and faith, dreaming that one day they might see their children walk.
Nilikuwa nimeishi na kilio kubwa. Juu hata saa hii, hata kukifanyika jambo yenye inashtua watu atuwalie, kulia saa hii inakuwa ni ngumu. Juu nililia mpaka sijui machozi ikaisha kichwa.
Out of the 8 children Tabitha Wambui gave birth to, 3 were diagnosed with muscle wasting disease known as muscular dystrophy.
Watoto wanajulikanaga bado kama kakiwa tu na miezi 4. Ndio unajua mtoto wako na shida juu shingo yenyewe haisimami.
Later, when her daughter gave birth, her 2 children were also diagnosed with the same condition, a situation that costed her marriage. At the moment, the total number of affected children in this homestead stands at 5. Their ability to walk, speak and perform basic activities remains severely limited.
Sasa changamoto ya wasichana, juu sasa pahali alikuwa ameolewa, alifurushwa na bwana yake kukitari. Sasa kakuja hawa juu sasa walianza kuona ni kama mambo ya nyumbani.
But where does muscular dystrophy originate from? Why will 5 children of the same family be affected? And is there any hope for treatment?
But they are basically genetic inherited diseases, which are mainly the core features of patients who have muscular dystrophy is progressive weakness.
For years, the family has endured not only the physical challenges of the disease, but also the stigma that comes with it. Yet their greatest burden remains daily needs, as the father is only able to earn a living as a knife sharpener. It is a pain and burden that a mother and father continue to carry each day. As days goes by, they continue slowly to lose hope because of the condition of their children. From Kagoto, Nakuru County, my name is Mike Chalo.
Now, 3 suspected livestock thieves have been lynched and torched by angry residents in Malili, Mukas Sub-County, Makueni County, following a sharp rise in cattle theft in the area. Now, the incident comes amid growing frustration from locals who say many families have continued to suffer losses due to rampant livestock theft. Residents accuse the security agencies of failing to address the problem, leading some to take the law into their own hands. Munena John has the details.
In the Memea area near Malili town, 3 men suspected of stealing livestock were intercepted by residents and killed. Area residents saying the violence erupted after repeated thefts and what they perceived as inadequate action by authorities to curb the crimes. Residents report that livestock thefts have increased significantly in recent weeks, raising tension and fear in a community that relies heavily on livestock for its livelihood. Many locals complain that efforts to identify and arrest the culprits have yielded little result, leaving them frustrated and anxious about their property.
Tukisumbuliwa na hao waizi sana, wamekuwa wametusumbua for the last, tuseme like 7 years. Hatulali na tukilala tunalala kwa shift. Hatulalangi, ukilala unaamsha mtoto achunge ng'ombe na ni mali yako. Hao watu wametusumbua sana.
Na mimi ni mmoja wao, niliimbiwa ng'ombe yangu njuzi. Hao watu wameshikwa na wamechomwa hapa Memea. Na mwenye hiyo lori
The suspects, reportedly a father, his son and their in-law, were allegedly caught transporting 2 cows believed to have been stolen from the nearby Ngini area. Muka Deputy Sub-County Commissioner confirmed the incident and appealed to residents to work closely with security agencies in reporting crimes. Munene John reporting for TV47, Nairobi.
Now, hundreds of Kenyans today turned up at Shamba Cafe in Loresho, Nairobi for a wine tasting event during the 3rd edition of the Gambero Rosso Top Italian Wines Roadshow. Italian wine producers are seeking to tap into Kenya's steadily growing wine industry. Now, during the event, participants sampled more than 160 varieties of Italian wines and attended a wine masterclass where experts trained them on proper wine tasting and how to pair different wines with Kenyan delicacies, enhancing their overall dining experience.
For us, this is a burgeoning market, so we are bringing the top producers of Italy. Today we have some amazing wines on display. I see a lot of people here today, but maybe someone is missing. They missed an opportunity to taste some of the top wines of the Italian wine scene. But next year, think about it.
It comes with a lot of pressure, trying to ensure that we put everything in place, trying to ensure that everything is running smoothly, that we have the right people, that we send out the invitations to them at the right time, they get the right communication, they know what to expect when they're coming, mapping out who is who that we want to be there.
I hope mmeenda nyumbani after wine tasting. And it was done at the right time, the right day. It's Friday. Please, went home. But of course, that looks like it was a good time. So you know what? Let's now turn our focus into business. All right, now residents of Likoni in Mombasa County now have easy access to affordable and quality goods following the opening of a new Quickmart supermarket in the area. Now, the new store, which is the company's 66th branch nationwide, is expected to enhance convenience, create job opportunities, and support local suppliers as the retailer continues to expand its footprint across the country.
Get ready for the best shopping experience. The retail game in Likoni just got a little more interesting. In September this year, Quickmart will turn 20 years old. This milestone would not be possible without the unwavering support of our suppliers and partners.
Kwa customer yeyote leo ambaye atashop hapa Quickmart, utaweza kupata mafuta pale Total na upate voucher ya shilingi 500.
Now, some liquor traders in Roysambu have raised concerns over alleged favoritism, claiming that many outlets are owned by police officers. Authorities, however, insist that all traders must pay for valid licenses, as 34 entities remain under investigation for allegedly forging payment receipts. Now, speaking during the launch of a new liquor licensing system, Nairobi City County Chief Officer for Housing and Urban Renewal, Lydia Mathia, said all applications will now be processed online with a provisional license issued for 21 days before inspection and the issuance of a formal permit. Now, East African Breweries PLC has posted a 38% increase in profit after tax to 11.2 billion shillings for the 6 months ended 31st December 2025, driven by an 11% rise in net revenue to 75.5 billion shillings. Now, the company attributes the performance to improved macroeconomic conditions, strong volume growth, cost discipline, and lower financing costs, as the board recommends an interim dividend of 4 shillings per share.
We have to be consumer-centric in everything that we do, and we are committing to keep doing that. We also have to keep investing, whether it's behind the brands or capex, but it has to be smart so that it delivers back.
This year, one of the things we are really proud of is that our growth is very much volume-driven. So we've registered an 8% growth in volume, which has turned into an 11% top line.
Now, Kenya's capital markets recorded strong performance in the fourth quarter of 2025, supported by improved macroeconomic conditions, regulatory reforms, and sustained investor confidence. Now, equity indices posted gains of over 50% year-on-year, while foreign investor participation rose to 42.63% in December. Treasury bonds remained oversubscribed, and assets under management in collective investment schemes increased to 679.6 billion shillings, with regulators citing digitalization and strong domestic liquidity as key drivers. Now, stakeholders in the tea sector are pushing for geographical indication certification for Muranga's high-altitude tea in a move aimed at enhancing farmer incomes, promoting value addition, and strengthening market access. Now, speaking at Gaturo Greens Tea Farm, Equity Group CEO Dr. James Mwangi said GI status would position Kenyan tea as a premium product globally, while French Ambassador Arnaud Souquet and Governor Irungu Kangata emphasized branding, sustainability, and partnerships ahead of the Africa-France Summit. All right, so you know what, that is, of course, what we had for you in business. Let's now turn our focus to some sporting action. Now, buoyed by growing confidence and mental resilience, Kenya's rising starlets have intensified preparations for their third round FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifier against Tanzania. Now, the team carries momentum from an impressive second round campaign where they defeated Ethiopia 4-1 on aggregate, including a 1-1 away draw in Addis Ababa and a commanding 4-0 home victory in Nairobi, as they eye a place in the final round and keep their World Cup dream alive.
Hata players wenyewe venye tuna train grao, mtu anaonyesha kwamba kuna kitu tunataka hapo mbele, na ukiona mtu akiona mwenzake ako chini anamuencourage, anamwambia unaweza, hii ni yetu, lazima tuwin.
Tuna train fit, tunangoja tu hiyo game yetu na Tanzania, na tunaona tunaweza kuwapiga juu venye tuna train vizuri sana. Mashabiki naambiwa kuja watu support hiyo siku ya game date 7 Feb, wakuja watu support na tutawaangusha wakikuja kutu support sisi.
Najua kila mtu amejitayarisha, kila mtu amegive her best kwa zoezi. Najua tutapush sana na tuweze kuchukua hiyo ushindi.
Now, 21-time SportPesa Premier League champions Gor Mahia will put their strength to the test against Sofapaka when the two sides clash tomorrow in round 19 fixture. Kogalo are coming off a 2-1 defeat to Bidco United last weekend, and head coach Charles Akuna will be keen to see his side bounce back with a win. In another league fixture, Mathare United will face KCB, Tusker will take on Poster Rangers, Muranga Seal will host APS Bomet, while Police FC square off against Bidco United. Gor Mahia currently sits top of the league standings with 36 points from 18 matches, ahead of AFC Leopards and Shabana.
In them, but you see, in the previous matches in the past, we've always had issues with teams that are, but then maybe sometimes underrate them, you know, and so our mental toughness should be said that we are ready, we want to deliver, we want to do the right things, and then make sure we win the match convincingly.
Every game we are facing it as a final. We have no excuse to drop points, so we just have to go for a win and bag in maximum goals.
Sisi kama team ni kuwin, tunaenda game by game, na I think hiyo pressure inafanya pia to win. So team imejiandaa poa na tumeka focus weekend and tutapata ushindi.
Nightmare in Nairobi is set to light up the Mass House Arena at the Ngong Racecourse as Kenyan boxing stars Joshua Wasike and Fatuma Zarika headline a blockbuster fight night that promises punches, pride and pure adrenaline. Now, the event marks the second edition of the Kalakoda Boxing, a fast-rising platform breathing new life into Kenya's proud boxing heritage, promoted by Kalakoda in partnership with the Kenya Professional Boxing Commission. Now, the fight night reflects a renewed determination to return Kenyan boxing to continental and global relevance, with fans expected to enjoy a thrilling blend of experience and emerging talent.
Anajiona ama anajifeel yeye ni heavyweight kunishinda. Nampatia hii challenge. Akuja been holding this title since 2015. There's no any other Kenyan that stood up with me since then up to now. Wanaogopa wakisikia ni Morris wanaingia chini.
Naamini kila kitu iko fit, so tutakuwa na mafights every month. So mafan wakama manze wakwe consistent, wa support mafight, and you at least boxing inuke Kenya juu boxing imekuwa down kiasi, but with Kalakoda na mafan wakikuwa wana show up every fight, na I think maboxer wanaweza fika mahali.
Unaweza anza tu ni mentally kujembe tu kwa akili yako unataka kufanya hii, and you make sure you focus on it. Kuna kitu ni haiwezekani.
Nashukuru pia for that support. And we need them. We need the fans to come and support us, because all this, we're not doing it for the boxers alone. We're also doing it for our country.
And it's only going to get better, and we're creating a sustainable environment for boxers to grow, which is what you need, you know. There's so much talent in Africa, Kenya alone, but all over Africa, you know, where people don't go in, they don't look for the talent, they don't give the gyms and the coaches the time of day. So no, it's what Kalakoda are doing awesome.
Go!
Yeah, your boxing. Kwanza the first one was so nice. I was there and I witnessed. I can't wait for this one. Kwanza Fatuma Zarika yani anajua manze sijui vile natoa wapi. Hiyo nguvu natoa wapi. Of course that's going to be some good time. But of course tonight like always we have a fantastic show that is ongoing. Tumemalizana the first part of the show that of course is a serious bit, the news. But now of course now natoa hapa ma comments. Sasa kwanza nisome these ones. About our guest tonight, Nikki Big Fish. Unamjua ule anasubanga watu town. Sijui kama mwe kukupata. But we have some of the funniest videos that he's done before. Deno Tony, Jody, you're saying tuned in. Mosetti, you're saying count me in. Sorry, Joshua Mwana Spaz unasema tune in from Machakos. Mwende D unasema hapo sasa. Mwingine hapa mapiga makofi ya kilo. Alafu kuna mwingine hapa Prince Jimmy you're saying ndani. Salome Kania sawa tuko hapa. Alafu kuna mwingine hapa niliona Baba Viki. Naona unasema huyu mbinguni hataona. Niki, unajua mbinguni sio wewe basi sijui kama utaona mbinguni. Utafika pole pole sana.
Sisi mimi nimefanya mpaka praise and worship unajua.
Ati tutafanya praise and worship mbinguni. Hapa mtu anasema hauoni mbinguni because ya zile vitu unafanya Wakenya wapitie pale town.
Ni mchezo tu fulani mzuri lakini tukishafika nilikuwa nafanya praise and worship on a serious note at Mavuno Church.
Sikuamini.
100%.
Kama umekuwa Mavuno Church na umeona for sure Nikki Big Fish alikuwa anafanya praise and worship. Ebu just comment on the picture tumepost na yeye saizi. But of course he's here in the building. We'll be talking to him about alifanyaje. You know he's actually a grade A student. Yeah, from Isli Boys.
Isli High School.
Isli High School.
Yep.
Alijuaje kuja tena akakujua career prankster aje sasa. So of course we have him here on the show and Willis Ocheng is also coming up shortly. Don't go away. Tutarudi in a few minutes.